Welcome, everyone, to the Austin LGBT Chamber podcast. I am Tina Cannon. I am joined here with Colton and Amy.
Oh, I was waiting for the applause.
Yeah, the crowd was a little sleepy. They're still coming off South by.
No.
As always, we are on air every Friday, everywhere you get your podcast. We're going to talk local business news, South by Southwest, and then we have a special guest today. So we'll get into that and let you know who the super special guest is here in a minute. But of course, South by, we're going to get to that here in a minute. But I wanted to go through just kind of some local business headlines, and then we'll get you caught up on all things happening in your neighborhood. So, Tiger Woods is backing a miniature golf course business here to tee up over in Cedar Park. According to our friends at the ABJ Pop Stroke on March 7th, presented plans to the Cedar Park City Council. That's a tough one to say after South by.
That is a little tough.
14,000 square feet restaurant, 18-hole synthetic turf miniature golf course. The company is looking for a special use permit out of the city of Cedar Park. Pretty sure they're going to get that at an upcoming council vote down the way, but they suspect that they're going to be able to hire a couple hundred people to be able to work there. So golf is going to be quite the thing here in the Austin area. The little golf, not the full golf.
I only appreciate mini golf.
Yeah, same. And pitch and putt.
Yeah.
I love a pitch and putt, but I'm not crazy about like a long game.
There's a place over we went the other day up in the Domain, and I think they're building another one East Austin, just over just east of 35. That's kind of more the social putt indoor.
Love.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm into that.
Yeah, the one at the Domain had like little every hole had something to do with Austin. There was like a graffiti wall.
Cute.
There was Coda.
Allergies.
They probably cover it with pollen. Like a big pollen gun that goes in there. Yes, I'm sure. But that'll be fun for our friends up at Cedar Park. It's nice for folks to be able to find jobs, especially if you've got a high school kid that's looking for something to do. It sounds like it's going to be a great place to work.
Fun.
In other local news, Austin has secured $105 million in federal funding for what we call the Cap and Stitch over at I-35. According to our friends at the ABJ, a total of $105 million in grant funding has been secured to support Austin's plan to connect East Austin to the Central Business District. This plan has been talked about for years, but it will also be a part of the $4.5 billion plan to just completely rebuild I-35. The idea of that Cap and Stitch is really to connect East and West, make better East and West connectivity both for walkers, pedestrians, bicyclists, as well as cars to be able to go through there and then drop and depress some of the lanes between Cesar Chavez and 4th Street. But this will be the first part of mini caps because it will eventually extend up to, I think that plan is to go up to 51st Street.
Wowzers.
Yeah, it'll completely change the way we look. There's a couple of other major cities across the country that have done this over the years, and it's just really literally connected
Is this just like
neighborhoods.
like a bypass? Is that what we're talking about?
No. So you picture I-35 right now, pretty much from 51st Street down to Cesar Chavez.
Right.
As it sits right now, that area will, in the long term, become a park-like space with no cars on it, on the surface of it.
Okay.
We're going below Earth 1.
Got it. Oh, okay.
I'm kind of into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because, I mean, the history of Austin, right, is the red line in the deed. So the red line meant that if you were African-American, you could only live east of I-35. It was written into deeds in West Austin, west of 35. And so being able to kind of get that physical barrier out of the way, I think will go a long way for just reinventing who we are as a city and taking some of that structures out of the conversation. And then creating some small businesses on top of it too. We're going to be able to put in some little, not huge things because there's structural issues, but, some food stands, some small amphitheaters, some use of that park space.
Love.
Better than, watching 18-wheelers go 4 miles an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to watch.
In other news, the Austin City Council is getting closer to hiring a city manager. The search has been narrowed down to 2. They'll have a chance. Austinites going to have a chance to meet these candidates. Right now, that they are down to TC Broadnax. I hope I'm saying your name right, TC. And Sarah Hensley, an old Austin fixture. You can attend a Meet the Candidate event from 6 to 7 on March 25th to ask them questions. That'll be over at the Planning Development Center over by if you're an old Austinite, was the old Highland Mall. That if you want more information, you can either attend that session or go to Speak Up Austin or even dial 311 to submit questions for those city manager candidates. And then according to the mayor, they suspect that the council is going to vote on it at their April 4th meeting, which leads me, or at least they're going to vote on giving the city manager, current city manager, the ability to negotiate a contract with a new city manager. So it's kind of like hiring a new football coach. Yeah. The idea is like, hire somebody, they're going to stay around for 4, hopefully 10 years, take the city into the next evolution of where it needs to go. We've had a few city managers since I've been here. A few interims, a few full-timers, a few quick-timers.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like the most fun job in the city of Austin.
It doesn't seem like a real long-term job.
Yeah.
We have a very active community. They have a lot to say at every council meeting. And a lot of people don't know, right? There's a disconnect between what council members do and what the city manager does. So Austin is a city manager form of government. I mean, the city manager, he or she, they run the operations of the city. They run all of the departments. All the department heads report up to them. All 14,000 some odd city employees report to them. And then that person reports to the council. So think of it as kind of like a CEO in a corporate America, right? Where the CEO answers to the board of directors and ultimately the shareholders, which in our case would be the citizens that pay the bills.
Right.
But I'm hoping I have a favorite in the mix, although I've never met the other one, but I have a favorite.
I wonder who that could be.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, here's hoping, but it is a tough job. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't want it.
No.
Well, go meet him, though.
But go meet him.
Go meet him.
Yes.
I'm sad that I can't meet him because we're not going to be in town.
We're not. We're going to be cool kids hanging out in Dublin.
Yeah, the turnout, we talked about this, the turnout with the last primaries was horrendous. Like,
Always is.
Like, get involved with your city, please. Go meet these folks.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who is selected, but you should, go hear what they have to say.
Yeah, and they should hear what you have to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, because they ultimately are working for you. And it's a pretty significant contract.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a little bit of pay. It's a lot of pay.
One hand washes the other.
And it's an important role. So definitely go meet your new city manager council candidates. If you're looking for more information on that, you can visit our friends over at the Austin Monitor. And then the last headline before we get to South by is formal negotiations with long-term police contracts have started this week. On Wednesday, the city of Austin, the APA, the Austin Police Association, will start formal negotiations on a long-term contract. News release from the city reads, quote, all parties agree that long-term contract is the best interest of the city and the community are committed to finding resolution. If the meetings are open to the public, they are extraordinarily boring. I have been to them. But they are open to the public. That it's not a normal public meeting. Attendees are not invited to speak. There's nowhere to sign up. There's no public testimony. You save all of that for council. But you can go and listen to them discuss back and forth the very boring lawyerly type questions. You can those are set for March 13th. You can see the story in the Austin Monitor for more details about how you can attend that event and how you can make your voices heard. But yeah, our folks in blue need a contract.
Yeah, it's always good to feel like you have a little, security.
Yes.
Yes. Instead of being in limbo, anyway.
Yeah, limbo's not good. Nobody likes uncertainty,
especially in like a large city. There's a boatload of departments, I'm sure, in the state of Texas that just fall back on like a state contract.
Well, we're the 10th largest city in the country.
Right. So
I mean,
it's good. This is good. This is a good thing.
It's long overdue. I know relationships have been strained over the years. We are and have been short police for quite a while.
Too long.
And I know that there's been actions taken for mental health resources, and I think that that's going well. I've heard from folks that that's going really well. Just kind of a different touch for different types of calls, but we still need trained police officers, and they need some security in what they do. At the same time, the city needs to, in my personal opinion, and maybe a little bit of the chambers, is to do something about having real resources for our homelessness. The one thing that I hear the most from our downtown businesses is that, yes, there's homeless problem, but there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a solution. So, they just kind of get swept from one street to another. We don't have the infrastructure and the full spectrum of homelessness services. So I need the new city manager, if you're listening, Sarah Hensley, to to work on our homelessness situation for sure. But that rounds out the headlines in Austin. As always, check out our friends at the Austin Business Journal and the Austin Monitor so that you can stay informed between our lovely podcasts. But I guess the other kind of big thing that's obviously taken over our town this week, South by Southwest.
Yeah.
How's it been treating you?
Well,
Who's winning?
It's coming to an end today, right? Friday.
I can hear it in your voice.
I know my voice is gone. There's some allergies. A lot of C4 energy drinks.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. You can't get away from them.
I'm not a fan.
Very, very sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many germs.
Who have we been seeing? Who have we been spotting? There's been some fun movie premieres. There's been some fun stars in town.
Mark Cuban, saw him in the lobby.
We did.
We stalked him.
He did not want to talk to us.
Tina and I met a reality star.
We did.
Who?
I have no idea who it was, but yes, he was very excited.
Chloe from Too Hot to Handle.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is that?
We were in line for some silly free thing, but we had to take a photo. So if you are scrolling on social media and see a photo of Tina or I as an angel,
I deleted it.
just ignore it. But we met her in line. She was in line.
Oh.
She's cute.
There's been some fun stuff.
Who is this person?
I don't know. Reality
Dating show.
Got it.
looked like she was probably on one of those shows.
She had
I mean, we've seen a lot of people at a distance because we're in the seats.
Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
I saw Ida Rodriguez finally. It was like a short snippet. I got a little taster of her comedy because it was like the comedy wrap up.
Okay.
But yeah, so we've seen all kinds of folks this week.
Yeah, I stalked my favorite podcast besides ours, Pivot, with forgot her name,
Oh,
Sarah, Kara Swisher.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. Can you tell?
Yeah.
And
The
Scott Galloway
ladies were here. We missed them.
but like they were just floating around, right?
Yeah, they didn't have a session. I don't think. I
yeah.
think they were part of iHeartRadio's big thing that they were doing.
At the Fairmont.
Yeah, which I found out later. I didn't even know that was happening. That's the thing
either.
with South by. There's so many things happening.
Well, we even went in there and we saw a lot of.
We did that weird VR experience.
Yeah.
It was a really different mix of folks this year.
Yeah,
like Post Malone was here,
but yet you had a bunch of AI geeks running around too. Very mixed.
Yeah.
And all of those AI sessions read like instantly. Like,
oh yeah,
so packed. There were a couple that we wanted to go to and we couldn't get in.
Yeah, I went to a couple and it was just like it kind of goes over my head a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, everybody kind of samples, right? It's very common to just like walk into a session, hang out for a few minutes, and kind of decide if it's for you and bounce. Like I don't think any of the speakers take it personally.
Yeah,
I think one of the most bizarre things that I've seen for two. One's the giant poop, and then the other was the Cheech and Chong movie premiere. They had on a flatbed trailer a giant smoking joint going up Congress Avenue.
Oh,
wow!
Was that the one with Jay Hernandez and Cheech?
Sure.
No, I thought that's a different.
And I was with Cheech. I don't know.
This was like a float that you saw?
Yeah, it was a giant float on the back of a trailer.
I don't know that is linked to the same movie that's premiering.
Oh, yeah, it had the Cheech's name on the side of it. It pulled up right in front of the Paramount Theater.
Well, maybe he's in more than one. I know that.
Or maybe he just wanted a toque. He brought his own.
Okay. There's like a based on true events movie that he's in, I think, with Jay Hernandez.
Okay.
Like another sporty film. I forget the one about the cross country kids down in the valley that they did.
There was tons of movies
similar to that, but
we were like, we're right off the Oscars. All these stars popped into LA. We had Gosling here. We had we had Sarah Waddingham.
Fun fact.
It was a gift from above.
Fun fact about Cheech, not Cheech, but Chong, Tommy Chong.
Okay.
Has sat at my dinner table before.
A
couple times.
What'd you have for dinner?
Spaghetti. It's always spaghetti. He was stoked about it.
And stoked, I'm sure.
In my Canada days.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
Jean Smart was at Oil Can.
Oh, what? Excuse me?
She went after the premiere, went to Oil Cans to a drag show. Issa Rae was at our party, which I did not see.
There's too much to see. That's the problem. She was at our party and we didn't see her.
I feel like there needs to be a siren in the middle of the day for like siesta time.
I think the stars need like those big red flags that you see like on motorbikes or whatever that you can see them from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even with everything going on, it's good to take a break. Like I've even worked in bars where like you close for an hour, you clean, everybody like sits down, they have like a snack.
Yes. It's a good economic
like a pause.
like South by time. Like South by nap time.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Casper.
South by siesta. Everybody take 90 minutes.
There actually was. I remember that. There was like it was one of those box mattress companies right when they first launched. It was disgusting. They had a session down on like 3rd and Congress where you could test out
You're going to tell me everybody
their beds.
Oh.
And you could sign up for like a 15-minute nap.
Everybody got head lice that year, I'm sure.
Right.
That sounds gross.
Right next to Rainy Street in that parking lot, there was a mechanical bed.
No.
So it's like a mechanical bull. But there were videos of people laying in the bed, putting the comforter over them.
No.
The
no need for that.
That's funny.
The activations were good this year. They weren't the best as always, but there's some pretty good activations, right? There's a giant Ferris wheel that there's no way I would have gotten on.
It wasn't
Delta.
that giant.
Delta had an amazing activation this session. 4 days.
Yes.
First class all the way.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Free merch.
Good.
Especially if you got a
free
seat,
food.
which we did.
Table service. It was great. They did it the right way. It was congrats, Delta. Well done.
Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. Everybody, when people were in line for like 2-3 hours to get into the Delta experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a great job.
And I'll be returning.
GA might have been all day.
Returning to Portland Pickles. They will be here this afternoon.
Yes, we cannot say the name of the event.
Why not?
What was it? You sent it to me.
Yeah. Why can't I say it?
I don't know.
It doesn't say anything bad.
Something weird.
It's Dylan. Dylan. Dylan is their mascot. He's a dill pickle, Dylan. It's Dylan's. Maybe I can't say it. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, we're not. it's not like there's any regulations.
It's not a bad word. It's Dylan. Dylan's. Thanks. Somebody take that away from her. Dylan's Big Texas Caucus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
That works. It gets us there. Okay.
But so many jokes.
What were the other like activations that y'all went to that were creative or well done, you think?
Paramount was pretty cute. They do a pretty good job every year. Over on Rainy Street, they had a little Mean Girls bar, tiny little Mean Girls bar, but it was very cute. Everything was pink, pink Starburst, pink.
Laffy Taffy. What was it? Chewy Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah. Every kind of candy that's pink, they had it.
Pink cups. They were like
Pink
hypercolor cups. That was fun. And then the Midwest House. I like how they picked a major city in the Midwest for each day that they would feature, and they had like Chicago dogs one day for Chicago Day. Yeah, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, very loud at Midwest.
It was very loud at Midwest House. Of course, we loved our friends over at the Ireland House.
Oh yeah, that was a great time.
Yeah,
and
always good.
Yeah,
and I do like that some of our. I know we talked about this last year, how there's so many people out of state or even out of country that come. So it doesn't always make sense to have a local panel or local discussion. But I do like that we still get to plug in because it's relatable for us.
Sure.
To go, and I got to go see Kirk Watson's panel.
Yes.
With the San Antonio mayor, and then I think Kansas City was here. Kansas City mayor, and it was just interesting hearing their perspective on like cities that are blowing up.
Yeah.
And what it takes to have the stuff to keep it moving forward and positive.
Yeah. There's always been really good data and panels around city and civics.
Yeah.
Whether it be affordability, housing, transit, right? Moving people around, how to keep it accessible for everyone. We've always had some really great city level tracks here for sure. Yeah. But I mean, South by killed it. The economic impact to the city is close to $400 million. So as a Chamber of Commerce, yay. Big fan of that. Keep that money coming.
Yeah.
Yes. The best kind of money is tourism money. They come in, they don't use your infrastructure, they drop a bunch of money off, and then they leave. It's wonderful.
And we got to see Grandma Stephen.
Oh, yeah. Grandma Stephen and Violet Ward, our friends over at the Kind Climate.
That was at the queer meetup, the South by Queer meetup.
Yeah. And there's always great programming. Of course, our programming was fantastic. And I'm not joking. Our panel, I have been going to South by for 27 years now. I know I'm old. I have never.
It's been 84 years.
Back in my day, we didn't have. And then literally, there was not an app. It was a book. It was like back in like early college days where you had to like thumb
Like a
through the
pocket
catalog.
book?
Like a catalog.
Not a pocket.
No, it wasn't a pocket. It was a
'Cause
book.
I think they still even had some in like 2019. Obviously not as many because there was an app, but it was pretty thick book.
Like a phone book. Like you could do
Yeah.
some damage if you threw it at somebody.
Yeah, it's like Impact Report
Yeah.
Square, but like
Interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible.
Big.
And it was 90% of it was wrong because, you know, by the time they got it to print,
if
they
there
had to
was
get
a
it to print
change,
early. Any
yeah.
change. So yeah, you would show. But in the course of my time here, I have never seen, so relating it back to our panel discussion, thank you to Deirdre, Jackie,
Fiona.
Juan, and Fiona.
That was amazing.
Who put that together. It was fantastic. It was about how corporations could do a better job to be more intentional about their DE&I activities rather than just checking a box. But in that, everybody that popped in for that panel stayed. Like I've never, ever, ever in 27 years of every panel I've ever gone to, ever seen nobody leave.
We still had people in the room 30 minutes after asking questions, which is amazing.
It's lucky that there wasn't anything after us in that space.
Right.
They were able to really get their questions in.
Yeah. Thank you to the Cambria for hosting us that day. It was great. It's a good looking hotel. So we do have a special guest who had a little bit of time in South by Southwest. We would definitely want to talk to her about what her experiences was during South by Southwest, but also welcome her to the show. Please welcome to the show, Miss Suzie Chase. How are you, my dear?
I'm great.
I'm loving having you here. Look at all that. Look at all that love. Because I can't turn off all the buttons. Suzie, for those who are unaware, besides being just a wonderful human being, she's also the Community Affairs Officer for Austin Pets Alive, as well as Texas Pets Alive. Suzie works with elected official, business leaders, community orgs to advocate on behalf of pets and people. She spent the last 3 years securing media coverage for Austin Pets Alive's life-saving programs and stewarding partnerships between businesses and the nonprofit animal shelter. Previously, she spent more than 20 years working in broadcast journalism and media relations and public affairs. She does have one of those velvety smooth voices. She served the offices of 2 city council members and has a unique relationship in both government and private sectors. Welcome, Miss Suzie. How was your South by?
Thank you so much for inviting me. My South by was fantastic, and I do feel like I need a little vacation now. It was great to introduce people to one of the dogs that we have at Austin Pets Alive, named Mr. Barkside. And Mr.
So
Barkside is a dog who was found. He was a stray dog. He was sent to Austin Animal Center and then came to us at Austin Pets Alive. And hopefully some of the folks who met him at the Austin Hilton earlier this week will decide they need to adopt him or any of his friends that we have.
I love that.
Yeah.
So let's let folks know a little bit who are listening if they haven't heard of it, if they're new to Austin or if you're listening from somewhere else. We had people listen to our podcast around the world. What is Austin Pets Alive?
Well, thank you for asking. Austin Pets Alive is a nonprofit no-kill animal shelter located in Austin, Texas, but we're so much more than just being an animal shelter. We help other animal shelters. We help animals throughout the state of Texas, and we do that with some of our other programs like Human Animal Support Services, which we call HAS, and that is a national coalition of animal shelters and organizations, and we work to help out the animal and human bond. We also can't do anything without having some good rules and laws, and so we have a branch called Texas Pets Alive, and so we work on policy to help animals and the people who love them.
So the Austin Pets Alive is more the hands-on doing, and the Texas Pets Alive is the advocacy arm?
Yes. So we do that locally. We do that throughout the state of Texas. And then we also help with policy in other states as well.
Okay.
And then we have this one other branch that I think a lot of people don't know about, but are learning about it every day. And it's called PASS. It stands for Positive Alternatives to Shelter Surrender. It is the secret sauce to helping animals stay out of the shelter. It's a way that people can rehome their animals just through our Facebook page. People can go ahead and get some help if they need short-term help, like cat food or dog food, or someone to take care of their animal while they are going to be in the hospital or taking care of a loved one who can't have any animals in their home. It's incredible. And so other states and other shelters are trying to replicate it. And it's absolutely amazing because anytime we can keep an animal out of an animal shelter and out of a kennel, it's fantastic. And so
Yeah.
this is all being run through our Facebook page.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
And hopefully, I mean, the posts that drive me nuts is when I see something, especially after the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they've gotten that present
Sure.
for the holiday. And then they
Aw.
decide, hey, I'm moving, or hey, I don't want it anymore. Who are you?
It happens all the
Oh
time.
man, people.
I feel like
do
the I've
that?
had it girls, right? I have had it with people,
It
right?
was
That,
terrible.
that adopt an animal and don't realize at the moment that you're adopting it. That's a 15-year at least, right? Commitment.
Yeah.
Of your time and your resources.
Yes. And sometimes more than 15 years.
Yeah.
The great thing is we have so many people now who are animal advocates who are really working on the education part of it. So before you adopt a cat or dog, there's a whole team of people who will reach out to you and say, here are some of the things you're going to want in your home. Here are some of the best practices, and here's some of the support that we can offer you for behavior challenges or medical questions that you might have. So that's what we're doing at Austin Pets Alive, and we're the leader in the nation when it comes to nonprofit shelters.
I was going to say, it's probably a real differentiator between you and some of the other shelters in the area.
It is.
Is that kind of safe to say? Like, what makes y'all so much different? I think you've kind of laid that out, but is there something else that?
Yeah, so we are not just a no-kill shelter. We are not an intake shelter. So when someone finds a dog or cat, they can't bring them to us at Austin Pets Alive. They go to Austin Animal Center, which is our municipal shelter. But the great thing is we work in tandem with all of the local rescue organizations, whether it's Williamson County or Austin Humane Society, or one of my favorite organizations is called Trappers. And Trappers is a nonprofit group. If your animal is, or if you see an animal like stuck in a storm drain,
Oh.
or if
I
there's
had a whole different connotation.
yeah, it's amazing. So they get almost 3,000 calls every year to help animals that are in need because, you know, if you call 311 and say there's an animal in crisis, you might not have an animal protection officer out at any point in time within the next 48 hours. So Trappers will go out and help get that animal and bring it to safety.
I feel like you can just call any lesbian,
Oh my.
right? And I feel like we'll just come. Like, it's a done deal.
I don't know. I feel like the animals come to us.
I was going to say, this is for, she's got like a gazillion,
I
a
call
zoo
y'all for
going.
everything. I don't know.
Yeah. Hello, Amy. My check engine light came on. Please help. Send a lesbian now.
Where's my engine?
How do I open my head?
Who is Egg 9? Why is this light on for Egg 9? So I know that y'all do a lot of work. I love seeing you on Saturdays and Wednesday nights up at the stadium at Austin FC. It's a real unique partnership between your nonprofit and, quite frankly, a for-profit entity in a way that captures 20,000 people. Talk to us about how you got that gig with Austin FC and what the results have been.
It is absolutely my favorite part of my job. So Austin FC approached Austin Pets Alive in 2020 before season 1, and they said, instead of having a big bobblehead mascot, we'd like to have adoptable dogs come to each of our home matches. And of course we said yes, because we have hundreds of adoptable dogs at any point in time. And so we have brought puppies that are parvovirus survivors. We've brought senior dogs. We've brought dogs who are in wheelchairs. We have brought multiple dogs at one time, and almost all of them have been adopted. As of today, 62 former honorary mascots have been adopted.
It's
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And I love seeing the little mascot of the match up on the screen.
And you'll see
Usually
another
with a
one
cute name, too.
tomorrow. Yes. So Saturday's match, we'll have a really cute dog who came to us with his siblings, and he's a parvovirus survivor, and he has something going on with his eye. And so we have a surgical team at our life-saving clinic that's going to take care of that. But the dog that I brought last week to the Austin FC match, his name is Gotti, like John Gotti.
Oh.
And he's a dog who unfortunately was covered in burns on his underside when we got him. He had first gone to Austin Animal Center, then he came to us. And so we treated him in our life-saving clinic, and he did so great. Everyone loved meeting him. He's about 8 years old, and he's ready to go to a home. He was
Yay!
so great with kids. He's great with all people. So one of the things we do is we learn as much as we can about the dog. Like, are they okay with cats? Should they never be near a cat?
Yes.
These are some serious questions that people want answers to whenever we bring the dogs to the Austin FC matches. So we love that we get to go there. And this year we're doing something a little different. We're in one static location. This year we're sponsored through Austin FC by Texas Lottery.
Okay.
And so then we'll go ahead and take the dog down to the pitch and meet everyone right before the match begins. And it's so much fun. But I do have to tell everyone, you want to watch for the dog that we're going to bring on March 30th. He is my favorite. His neck is so big. Like, he's going to be one of the biggest dogs.
He's John Gotti's enforcer. He's the muscle.
Oh, yeah. He's the muscle. All right. Yeah. And he's about 10 years old. He's just so ready to be in a forever home. But he's been in a foster home. And that's another one of those things that we want everyone to know about in Austin, that if you cannot make that commitment to have a cat or dog in your home forever, but you want to help one from any of the shelters, you can go and foster one of the cats or dogs in one of the animal shelters.
And you won't end up with like 30 dogs that you accidentally adopted because you fell in love with them all. Like, these fosters are really good at fostering, right? And getting them back out into the community and understanding what their role is in that continuum of care for that animal.
Yes.
So sign up to be a foster. How else can folks help? Because you're a nonprofit, right? Money's nice.
Money is nice. So the latest request that I've received is we need a commercial riding mower that costs about $6,000. So $6,000 can treat a lot of animals if someone wanted to donate a commercial riding mower to us. We need a pallet jack.
Instead of the mower, would like professional services? Like, so you're not having to mow? Like, what's the use of the mower?
Professional services would be great.
Right.
We're just
so if you're a landscape company, ABC Pest and Lawn.
We love ABC Pest and Lawn.
Right, then they could come out and do the work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
We have dogs that need wheelchairs because we have so many dogs that have either been hit by a car, or one of my favorite dogs, who's named Shea Butter, was unfortunately stepped on by livestock. And so Shea Butter can't use the back legs, but is great getting around. And so the folks over at the University of Texas in one of the engineering programs, they're making wheelchairs for our dogs.
That is so awesome.
So if you make something, if you are a software company, we need help with software for our fostering program so that we can collect data and we can share data with other shelters. And there's just an endless number of ways that people can help out the dogs and the cats and the people who are helping them in our shelter.
If they want to donate their time, their treasure, their talents, dog food, cat food, where can they do all of that? Where do they find out more?
They can go to austinpetsalive.org, or they can stop at our Town Lake Animal Center location, and right in front of our clinic, that's Building C, they can drop off dog food, cat food, everything gets used. We take empty medicine bottles. We'll take pet medicine that you're no longer needing for your animal. Our clinic needs it all. And we need people who have the time to help fold laundry. That's a huge need because we go through a lot of laundry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine so.
Maybe if the dogs were naked most of the time, that would be better. No.
We still need someone to help fold some laundry. You all come on out. I'll show you all the different ways we can help.
What if you had like a magic wand? Like, what's the one thing that your shelter would want?
Oh,
a big fat check, but yes,
a big fat check.
But like,
would be great.
How can the local businesses who are listening really do something right there? If they're just, I don't know, they're running their small business that can't really donate a thing that's going to work, not donating software, they're not a gardening place.
Sure.
How can they do something?
From the things that individuals can do, like adopt, foster, volunteer, or donate, to things that businesses can do, you can reach out to us at austinpetsalive.org, and your entire team can come out and do a day of service and help volunteer on our campus by helping to work on a fence, helping to give food and water to the cats that we have in our care. And then there are larger things that can happen, like we were so very grateful that we were able to meet our goal through Amplify Austin recently, but we need donations every single day.
Amazing.
So all of the businesses in Austin have an opportunity to help Austin Pets Alive out and the cats and dogs in our care.
They
Yeah.
do.
Get involved, everybody.
Get involved. Do your part.
Yeah.
Adopt, foster, donate,
Yeah.
volunteer. Dog walkers.
We need dog walkers.
Yeah.
We have a training program so that people can find out how to walk some of the dogs that are easy and some that are not so easy. But they all need to get out. And we guarantee that all of those that can physically get out to go take a walk, they get out multiple times a day. It's amazing what our volunteer program does.
How many dogs have you accidentally picked up in as a result of your occupational hazard?
So I've fostered a lot of dogs. One of my favorites is he's actually at the
cats.
shelter right now. There's a dog. His name is Spinach. He has one eye, and he's a Great Pyrenees, and he's gorgeous and should only be in certain kinds of homes. So we have a group of matchmakers. So the matchmakers will set up people with the dog that'll be great for them. Sometimes they need a big backyard. Sometimes they're great in an apartment as long as they don't have stairs. And other places, everything goes. So if Bumble wanted to, partner up with us and pair people and pets, we would welcome that.
And their revenues could welcome that too, because they just laid off a couple of employees.
There you go.
And they need to find a new business model. So it'd be great for them. It'd be a nice philanthropic gift.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Swipe right.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to go around and tell us the names of your dogs and cats.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
Oh.
I'm a lesbian, so we have 2 cats.
I know.
Billings and Lytle. Billings is pretty much my wife's cat. Lytle was your standard typical asshole cat, but he has come around because we put our old boy down last year, so he's been promoted. He was a prince, now he's the king. But yeah, he's run of the mill black cat. Which adopt black cats are the hardest ones to adopt.
And they're so cute.
They are.
They
They've
really
got
are
personalities.
I mean, I have a black cat. That's how it started.
Yeah. What's your cat's name?
Reba Blackentire. And Winona Earp. And then I have 2 kitties that live outside that aren't really mine, but we all kind of come together as a block and take care of them. It's like the Golden Corral. They just go house to house and eat all day and sleep on all of our patio furniture. And then I've got 2 dogs. I was a dog person forever. I was like, don't like cats, only dogs. And that's Ruger and Winston. So,
They're very big dog names.
yeah, well,
They're
they
big
got
dogs.
big personality. Ruger's not that big. She's a healer. And then Winston's a healer chihuahua.
What?
It's a very sassy boy. We've just recently figured out that we have to buy small packs of food for him because it has to be fresh and it has to be a new flavor, which is very irritating.
So they're spoiled dogs. is what
Like
you're
Ruger
talking.
will eat anything. Ruger will eat like expired,
The tires on
questionable. Yeah, like is this even something that should be ingested? And she's like, yep, challenge accepted.
your car.
Where Winston's like, oh, you got the lamb? I really wanted the turkey.
I've got one of those too. I have a very large gray tabby that is currently on a diet. She's so sweet. Really raspy voice. Has ever since she was a baby.
Gotta get her to quit smoking.
I know. So her
Drinking
name's
all that
Janice
whiskey.
Joplin.
Oh, perfect.
She loves to sing, real raspy. And then I have the tiniest little gay Siamese cat named Elton
sings.
John. He's very high pitched voice, never stops going.
Tiny
It's a fun time
dancer.
over at my house.
It's quite the charcuterie of animals.
I mean, yeah. Look at us, animal lovers.
Oh yeah, they keep you young, they keep you healthy, they keep your blood pressure right. It's good for everybody. Suzie, thank you so much for joining us today. We absolutely love having you.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So if you are interested in becoming a member of the Austin LGBT Chamber of Commerce or want to join us for some of our events, you can visit austinlgbtchamber.com. If you'd like to be a guest or a sponsor, we will gladly take your money. You can email us at info@austinlgbtchamber. Be sure to check out past episodes of the show, follow us, and check out new episodes every Friday at noon, wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. I don't know what's going on. We'll see you next time.